Hallo und herzlich willkommen zu einer weiteren Folge Chäos hat nur. Ja, beim letzten Mal hat uns Fest angesprochen, woraufhin mehr oder weniger die gesamte Klasse ausgeflippt ist, was aber dann davon abgelenkt wurde, dass die Austauschschülerin Kursor, irgendwie kann ich mir ihren Namen leider bisher nicht vernünftig merken, gegen die Tür gelaufen ist und sich dann die Aufmerksamkeit alle auf sie gerichtet hat. Und jetzt sind wir gerade auf dem Rückweg von der Schule mit Rimi und ihr ist aufgefallen, mit wie vielen Mädchen wir offenbar in letzter Zeit zu tun haben.
しかも同学年の隣のクラス。
Rumi's voice was overflowing with excitement. I guess Rumi was quite the trend chaser.
昨日タクから CD 借りたばっかりだからすごくびっくりしちゃった。それにすごく可愛い子だし。
Rumi circled around in front of me. While still facing me, she began to walk backward. Her voice got all quiet, and then she asked me a question timidly.
何話してたの？今朝ウエス岸本さんと聞かせてほしいな。私には聞く権利なんてないかもって思うけど、でも岸本さんと話してた時のタク、すごく思い詰めた様子だったから、なんだか心配で。
Oh, she had seen completely through me. I guess it wouldn't be a bad idea to tell her everything. It wasn't like I had other people to talk to about it. Plus, agonizing over it on my own had gotten pretty exhausting. I would appreciate another perspective. Not from someone who spoke in nothing but vague, ambitious bullshit like Ayase and Senna, but from someone that would give actual concrete answers to my concerns. But when we had talked yesterday, she hadn't believed me at all.
話してたのは剣のこと。
剣って昨日タクが言ってたやつ。
綾瀬
I
は
know that.
持ってるんだ。
何を？
本物を。
Ihr Blick. I wasn't completely sure, but I thought I heard Rimi taking a large breath. She staggered with her eyes open wide, and then, after taking a few steps back,
嘘だ。
she shouted with a clearly skeptical
だっ
voice.
てあれおもちゃでしょ？
Da ist einmal das Gesicht entgleist.
だから僕のはおもちゃだけど、彼女のは本物で、ライブ行けば見られ。
I quickly realized what I was saying and cut myself off. Would she even be able to see it? I mean, Ayase had mentioned that only people with powers could see these sorts.
ライブに行けばその本物の剣を見られるの？じゃあ今度行ってみようかな。ファンタズムのライブそのものも見たいし。あ、タク一緒に行く？
見られないかも。限られた人にしか見えないらしいんだ。
あ、そうなんだ。裸の王様みたいなものかな。
Yeah, the Emperor's new clothes.
じゃあ私バカだから見えないかも。なんてね。
Actually, that was a good point. Oh, das ist gemein. Come to think of it, I didn't know anything about what exactly a real D sword was, nor how it worked. I had just been accepting everything Ayase said without question.
そんな剣本当にあるのかな。やっぱり私信じられないよ。タクが見たっていう岸本さんの剣も本物っぽく見えるおもちゃじゃないの？
でも光ったし。
おもちゃでも光るやつはいくらでもあるよ。
Well, she wasn't wrong. If you wanted something to glow, you could easily slap some lights onto it. But when I thought of the overwhelming sense of presence Senna and Ayase's swords had, the existence became harder to deny. Außerdem hat sie das Ding aus dem Nichts, aus einer anderen aus einem Dimensionsriss herausgezogen? Hm? That and all about them that no mere toy should have been capable of. And most of all, as had taken that sword out of thin air. I had seen it with my own eyes. It wasn't anything simple like hypnosis or super speed. On top of that, I felt as if I had only gotten to experience the tip of the iceberg.
僕には妄想を現実に投影する力があるかも。
I had no definitive proof, but I tried throwing my thoughts at Remy regardless.
だから将軍に、狙われてる気がする。
That was the only possible reason he had been targeting me. There was nobody more harmless than I was. Otakus were fundamentally harmless beings. We did shut ourselves away in our own little worlds after all. If we had time to bother denizens of the third dimension, we would rather spend that in our heads, flirting with adorable characters.
昨日調べてた特許のこと？タクはあんな装置持ってるの？
I shook my head.
そうじゃなくて、装置とかなくても力使えるかも。
タクからかってるんでしょ？あ、わかった。何かの漫画かアニメが元ネタ？
Just as I had feared, she didn't believe me. But I knew I'd experienced what I was talking about before, with that accident back in elementary school. I tried desperately to explain that to Remy, that I might have been a murderer. I knew Remy might abandon me if I confessed that to her, but I couldn't hide it anymore. I wanted to tell someone. If I did, I could clear the uncertainty in my mind, even if just a little bit. Remy listened to my shaky explanation with a troubled look on her face, remaining silent the entire time, and after I finished talking,
考えすぎだよ。
she nonchalantly laughed the whole thing off.
そう考えてることだってタクの妄想なんだよ。わかってる？
Was I really overthinking it? That was a nice thought. But even with that theory, the uncertainty in the depths of my mind hadn't cleared at all. The smell of dust wafted through an office. An office situated on the second floor of a somewhat old building. Das müsste doch eigentlich Polizei sein, wenn ich mich nicht irre. Sunlight streamed in through the window, covering the back wall, turning the floating dust into that of a thin, powdery snow. The words plastered onto the window Fresier Credit Bureau cast a shadow onto a nearby desk. 20 desks were lined up across the floor, with not even a hint of gap between them. Each one was drowning in an endless sea of documents, papers and files. Piles stacked so high they looked to be on the verge of collapsing. From an outsider's perspective, it looked far more like a publishing company than a credit bureau. Most of the desks lacked denizens. There were only around 5 to 6 people at best. As for why that was the obvious conclusion would be that it was a Saturday, but this was by no means the answer. This was made evident by the whiteboard stuck on the wall near the entrance, its schedule densely packed with tasks and projects. Nearing the end of his lunch break, Ban Yasu opened the door to the private investigation company. He entered without so much as a knock, yet none of the workers seemed to bat an eye. Continuing to act as if he belonged there, Ben gave a quick "how's it going?" and headed towards the desk at the back of the room. In it sat a robust-looking woman, hunched over her laptop. Ah, Momo-chan ist das. Ah ja, stimmt. Die war auch cool. In response, the woman continued staring at her monitor with a weary expression. Her name was Momose Katsuko, and she was the president of Fresier.
バンちゃん、また来たの？
また来ました。やっと。入社年についての新ネタない。
たく、私は忙しいのよ。抱えてる案件が5万ってあるの。うちみたいな零細企業は土日返上で仕事しなくちゃいけないの。わかる
Momos finally raised her head. She placed a hand on her forehead and upon seeing Ban's grinning face, lightly shook her head.
ここは警察の秘密組織でも子会社でもないって何度も言ってるでしょうに。ただで情報もらえるなんて虫のいいこと考えてるんだろうけど、ここに来てる暇があるなら自分の足で何とかなさいな公務員さん。または依頼料を払うこと。予約表はみおちゃんにもらってちょうだい。
相変わらず冷てえ社長だな、おい。
In spite of Momo's sharp remarks, Ban didn't show any hint of concern. He simply fanned himself with his distinctive handheld fan, remaining aloof as could be.
この会社立ち上げるときにはあんなに協力してやったのによ。
あら、ワンちゃんも恩着せがましい人だわね。何年同じこと言い続ければ気が済むわけ？
まあ言っててくれ。じゃあ依頼料はこいつでどうかな。
Ben slowly pulled out a plastic bag with the name of a nearby Japanese-style confectionery store on it.
なんだ、あるなら最初から出してよ。いつも悪いわね。みおちゃん、お茶2つ持ってきて。
Her attitude having undergone a swift dark change, Momose closely examined the contents of the bag Ben had handed to her.
あら、栗羊羹、今が旬なのよね。わかってるじゃない。あ、ばんちゃん、そんなところに突っ立ってないで座って。
Ben gave a wry smile, took a chair from the closest desk and seated himself beside Momose. The clerical lady Momose had called for before brought over 2 steaming cups of tea.
なんか新ネタあるかい？
ちょっと待ちなさいって。
Momose carefully unwrapped the chestnut yolk, folded up in the wrapper and set it beside her PC. She then hurriedly devoured the first of the sweet treats. Japanese-style treats were her greatest weakness. They were a necessary offering for Ben to bring every time he came for information.
おいしいわ、これ。
人に言えた義理じゃないけどよ。ちったダイエットしたらどうだよ。
Oops.
でないといつまで経っても結婚できないぜ。
本当に人に言えた義理じゃないわね。私はもうとっくに今期は逃したわよ。
With a shrug of her shoulders, Momose took a zip from her tea, then turned to face
ま
Ben.
た新しいニュージェネ事件起きたわね。こんなところでサボってていいの？
そっちの調査は俺以外の全員が真剣に取り組んでるさ。俺は別のアプローチから真実に迫ってやるってね。
かっこつけちゃってね。似合わないわよ。
Knowing himself to be quite sensitive to hot drinks, Ben showed no hint of reaching for his cup. He simply continued to fan his face, in spite of the already chilly air. It was something of a habit of his.
警察は G レートの線追ってるの？
そうそう、G レートね。ありゃすごいな。ももちゃんの話の通りだったぜ。
私が嘘の情報を渡すわけないでしょうに。これでおまんま食べてるんだから。それで？
まあ勝手に調べてるよ。
勝手に？ちょっとばんちゃん
Momose's voice carried well. Her personality was intrinsically energetic, lending her voice quite a bit of volume. The workers of Frisia were used to this, not even batting an eye as her angry voice reverberated throughout the office. The boss's yelling was an everyday occurrence after all. Ben and Momose were old friends, so he was all too familiar with being on the receiving end of it. Thus, much to her chagrin, Momose's wrath was met only with him lazily picking at his ear. Before she said anything else, Momose quickly lowered her voice, for this was a topic she did not want met with prying ears. But her face was red with anger, as if she had not been cheerfully stuffing herself with sweet just moments before. She pointed her finger at Ban, with tremendous
個人
intensity.
で追うのは危険だって言ったじゃない。政治に宗教に企業、どれだけ根深く関与してると思ってるの？個 この間テレビで G レートの講義をやった太田教授がどうなったかあんたもよく知ってるでしょ。
ああ、貼り付けで殺された被害者だろ。何度も聞いたよ。
何度でも言ってやるわ。言ってやりますとも。あんたはいつも私の忠告を無視するんだから。それでいつも尻拭いさせられるのは私なんてたまったもんじゃないわ。
まあそうかってじゃあでも飲んで落ち着いたら。
Ignoring both bun and her tea, you must have tossed a second chestnut you can into her mouth in a half.
大丈夫だって一応諏訪と一緒に動いてるんで。今はまだ G レートやら何やらってのは突飛すぎて上を説得できねえなよ。
諏訪ちゃんは確かに有能だししっかりしているけど無理させたら承知しないわよ。
ももちゃんはいつから諏訪の保護者になったんだ。
あんちゃんの無謀な行動に未来ある若者が巻き込まれるのはかわいそうでしょうに。
そうか。
With a shrug of resignation, Ben took a testing sip of his tea, only to immediately grimace. It was still too hot.
バイオリズムが人を殺す凶器になるなんてこと、本当にありえるのかね。
前に説明したでしょうに。
実はいまいち理解しきれてねえんだわ。それってももちゃんお得意の電磁波と関係してるのか。
Momose let out a sigh. Then, in contrast to Ben, composedly sipped
満
at the
月の
tea.
夜の事件簿はよく知ってるでしょ。
ああ、まあな。
A vast influx of incidents and accidents would always occur on the night of a full moon. This was no urban legend either. One need only glance at the Tokyo Metropolitan Police Station statistical records.
その満月以上の力でバイオリズムカーブが上昇したらどうなると思う？
興奮するってことだろ。
それだけ？渋谷は特殊な街なのよ。言ったでしょ。 G レートが高ければバイオリズムカーブは上昇する。しかもその上昇値は満月の夜に影響する数値のおよそ6800倍。
なんとも想像しにくい数字だな。
比べ物にならないくらいすごいって考えとけばいいわ。
しかしなんで今なんだい。
殺された太田教授が言っていたのは G レートが半年前から急に増加しているせいってことね。地層の構造に大きな変化が起きない限りそんなことはありえないそうだけど。そう駅前のスクランブル交差点で火山が噴火するほどのエネルギーが必要なの。
Anders gesagt, irgendjemand oder irgendetwas hat da aktiv die GE-Rate hochgepusht.
火山？そんなに大きな力なのか。
それくらい今の G レートはありえない状況なのよ。
それを世間に訴えようとした教授はニュージェネで殺された。
事件の前日に教授が出演する予定だったテレビ番組が急遽放送中止になった話知ってる？
確かか。
知り合いに MHK に勤めている人がいて聞かされたの。
国営放送の番組に圧力をかけられる立場なんてそうそうないぜ。
私も詳細についてはわからないわ。知ってたらとっくに告発してるだろうし。
Ben leaned forward, intrigued.
俺でも大体予想はつくさ。この際はっきり言っちゃってよ。
本気で聞きたい？社会の安否に踏み込むことになるわよ。いいの？パンちゃんクビになるかもしれない。
俺はニュージェネ事件の犯人さえ捕まえられりゃそれでいいんだけどね。ま、 どうするかは答えを聞いてから考えるわ。
Zipping her tea, Momose tapped away at her laptop keyboard with her free hand. Displayed on the screen was a single document. It contained a list of information Momose had personally looked into.
名和と
The Maver Party. Fictional, wichtig, fictional. One of the two major political parties in Japan 4 years ago. The Maver Party was an opposition party, but that changed following a major breakthrough in the general election that year. Its catchphrase, a brighter peace is a brighter peace. It's a brighter peace for the people as the two kanji used in its name, Mei and Wa, mean bright and peace respectively. Mhm.
おもちゃ勘弁してくれ。俺はてっきり野党の名前が出てくると思ってたんだがな。よりによって。
Ben groaned in utter exasperation. Yet despite the smile, his eyes showed not even hint of one. All they housed now was the cold and discerning gaze of a detective.
この国が揺らぐぜ。
Yup. Since it was the weekend, I had been unable to get Remy to come over. So I was forced to spend 2 very anxious days all by myself. I had Remy pick up some groceries on Friday, so I could survive the weekend without leaving my base, but I had come very close to sending her a text asking her to come over multiple times. But in the end, I hadn't sent anything. The only thing that gave me a break from my anxiety was the half hour I had spent watching the latest episode of Platoon. Even in extreme circumstances such as this, I still had to make sure they stay up to stay up to date on Platoon. Remy was my sole source of comfort in the third dimension, but when it came to the second one, Platoon was the one that fulfilled that role. Well, to be more specific, Sarah-tan was. After I had finally overcome that weekend, Monday came. I took a peek at Frippara's Phantasm section, only to find it in a state of complete disarray. Wasting no time, I immediately followed a link taking me to Ed channel. It was a total shit show. Fast from Phantasm was hospitalized in the past. As Kishimoto, when she was younger, she was hospitalized for mental illness reasons. The name of AHM. Cool story, about too bad it's totally bullshit. Details, please. Well, it's only meant for patients with severe mental disorders. More haters, what a poor attempt at bait. You're gonna bother making a thread like this, at least include a source. This is such bullshit. Fez never been in. How do you even sleep at night? The one watching you was I. Fez. Okay, strike the stake right into the dump of spouting bullshit. The next new gen, finde ich gut. First claims is legit. Fez was sublet for a very long period of time for mental health reasons. Hospital published a free newspaper in which selection of drawings, essays, poems and other works done by patients are shown. As song lyrics can be found there. You can find all of this on the hospital's website, Dipshits. Her full name is Kishimoto Arcade Medical. Finally. Is that seriously all it takes for you guys to abandon her? Wait, that's just fine with me. Just means I got 50 arrivals now. First time will be mine. See you all at the wedding. What the fuck? This was actually true. Yes. Hell yeah. 100, I declare a flame war. There's even pictures. I'm gonna piss myself laughing. Notice of Phantasm's termination. Is Phantasm gonna disband cause of this? I used to like that quite a bit, sexually. Wow. Yes, what the fuck? This must be someone's guidance too. The verses there aren't used in Phantasm songs, are they? Don't quit fast. I'm seriously gonna cry. I think I sort of understand it. They say there's a fine line between genius and insanity after all. Band break up, flag for the win. Tonight's a black mask comet. What the fuck, ey? Lollyfest 9? Well, that sets Phantasm's fate in stone. Well, I guess this is a more fitting end for them than going mainstream. Any comment from First yet on the official website? Doesn't matter how much noise your versions make on here. Fest doesn't look at the past, only the future. Can't wait for the next prophecy predicting all your deaths. Okay, what's the problem though? This speaks of some weird advertising scheme by Phantasm, desperate to keeping your dead band alive much. It was always obvious that Fest a total so why is everyone acting like this is a surprise at all? So Fest always was mentally ill. But that's what is good about her. Okay. Calm down everyone. This is just bait from Festan. Fest spirits collapse because of the world is full of ill will. Its power woke to the punk part of her soul. Those keen aggressive lyrics are the cry of her sublimated soul. We on the contrary should celebrate the facts bared by as a holy grace. The website is down. Are they trying to bail? I followed the URL 12 had sent. Apparently Arcade Medical was an old school psychiatric facility that only treated severe cases of mental illness, or at least that was what the website said. The website had pictures of the place, and frankly it looked like a straight up penitentiary. There were iron bars on every single window. I wasn't even sure if it was still open or not. The homepage hadn't been updated for years or so. But just as the poster on Ed Channel had said, beneath a certain poem was the name and photo of a young Ayase.
Ayaseが精神病.
It wasn't that it was shocking to me or anything like that. After all, I'd regularly gone to a mental hospital too back when I was in elementary school, so I really felt sympathy for her. Ayase and I were the same. She had that bewitching aura to her, and every person my age and she were thought she was so charismatic, but despite how different that made us, in this one way we were the same. The fact that we had that in common reinforced my hypothesis that I had the same power she did, the power to project delusions onto reality. It wouldn't be wrong to say that it gave me some courage, maybe even strength. Though, there was one problem. Up until now I had taken everything else I had said at face value, but that might have been a mistake. Things about how to acquire this sort. Things about how getting my hands on one could save me. It wasn't the phenomenon she had showed me that was making me doubt her, but the words she had said. I wasn't sure whether or not to believe her, maybe. The sudden ringing of my phone startled me. You could always count on them to take you by surprise. I had nearly pissed myself. That was why I hated these things. The loud ringing refused to stop, so I clicked my tongue and grabbed it. It was probably Nana calling me. She was probably just calling me to bitch about whatever random bullshit I was bothering. Kill me now. Annoyed as could be, I pressed the accept and call button and held the phone to my ear without checking who was calling. I had no idea why I did that. After everything that I had been through, why the hell had I not checked the caller's number? What came from the other side of the line was a sad melody playing loudly. You may pass. I frantically checked the number on the display. Shit, I knew I should have checked. It was them, but how? It had said it wasn't in use anymore. When I'd had Nanami call the number to check that one notice plate. Maybe the prankster had reactivated it.
どうしよう。
Und genau mit der Frage beschäftigen wir uns beim nächsten Mal. Vielen Dank fürs Zuschauen und ja, bis zum nächsten Mal.